All right, y'all. We got another one. This man, Andrew Tate, is about to start a war. He's going to dominate the news cycle from November to December. Here's why. First of all, let's get one thing straight. His birthday is not December 1st, 1986. This is from the Freedom of Information Act. All records for Emory Andrew Tate, born December 14th, 1986 in Washington, D.C. Boom. So, rewind the clock. November 19th, 2022. Andrew Tate is back on Twitter after 5-year ban. I remember the date, November time period, okay? His Venus, 10 degrees Scorpio. His Mercury, 6 degrees Sagittarius. On the 18th of November 2022, the South Node was at 12 degrees. His Mercury was at 1, Venus was at 2, right? With his Venus at 12 degrees and the South Node here is unlocking the social Mercury is meteor return, because he was having a Mercury return. Get it? Unlocking social media return, especially since Venus was there, which made it more beneficial, right? Now, he has a Saturn at 13 degrees, right here. There it is. On December 11, 2023, Romanian court rejects his request to return assets that were seized in the case, okay? Now, December, remember, November, December, okay? Also, they were different years. That's also important to remember. 11th of December 2023. Remember his assets, he wanted to have his assets returned to him, but the government was like, nah. Remember his Venus was at 10 degrees. He was having a Venus return, and Venus is assets. He was trying to get his assets returned to him. Remember his Saturn is at 13 degrees. He had a desire for that, which is Mars, and the government, which is Saturn, was like, nah, we ain't doing that, my nigga. We ain't giving you your shit back. Especially because he was having a Mars square. His Mars is also at 12 degrees. So his desire was to do what he wanted to do wasn't working because they were challenging each other. His desire was malfunctioning, right? And he has the proof for his Mars at 12 degrees of Pisces. Boom. Fast forward to November 19th, 2024. Remember, November, December. Prosecutors ordered to withdraw or amend case against Andrew Tate. Now, his sun is at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, and Uranus is also at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, which is very wild to think about, to be honest. So, on the 19th of November, 2024, Mercury was on his sun in Uranus. So this is the news. His life, his consciousness came out in the news, and it was very sudden, and it was opposite Jupiter. So it was more positive than it was negative, right? And then on top of that, Saturn was on his Mars, right? So the government had a belief in his desire to have his shit amended, and it was positive because of the opposition to Jupiter to the news, right? The news was more positive, okay? Also, his Venus is at 8 degrees and his natal Neptune is at 5 degrees of Capricorn, right there. See it? Boom. This is showing me that the law, which is Venus, because Venus rules Libra, and Libra is law, balance, harmony, right? Was more in harmony with the ability to be more lenient, which is Pisces, right? And Pisces and Neptune, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, right? So the law of Venus was more lenient Neptune, okay? Now here's where all this comes into play in 2025. So remember, his Mercury was at 6 degrees. He's gonna have a Mercury return. 6 degrees. But while it's there, Mars is also going to be there. So he's going to have a Mercury return, which is the media, which is the news. He's going to be talking his ass off. He already has a fucking Sag on Uranus opposite the moon in Gemini, which is he was born on the full moon. So motherfucker, he's gonna be talking like a motherfucker. And then Mars is there, which is gonna amplify the amount of talking he does, but it's also gonna be war talk. War talks. Remember war, and then Mercury is talk. He's gonna be talking about war, okay? And then on top of that, if you remember, his Mars is at 12 degrees of Pisces, and his Jupiter is at 15 degrees of Pisces, okay? Now, this is indicative of, and the North Node is at 14 degrees of Pisces. He is fated. There's a fated event for him to talk about the war, and it's going to be expansive, and it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be pretty fucking massive. Now, stay with me. Now, on the 13th, as time moves on, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde. So whatever he's talking about may seem to start to like die down, right? Be reverted or being taken back about something, right? However, with Mars still on his Mercury, he's still going to be talking shit. he's still going to be talking shit, but it may not be as in the media, right? He might just be more so planning what's about to happen. Stay with me. Now, by the 28th, the sun is on his Mercury. So he's going to be illuminated again. However, Mercury is still retrograde, so he's still not fully in there yet. But he's going to be talking his shit still by the 18th, right? I'm sorry, the 28th. And then by the 5th of December, his Mars is at Mars is at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. Remember, his Sun and Uranus are both conjunct at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. Sun is your life force. Uranus is very sudden, random shit happening, right? And Mars is there, which is the god of war, aggression. He's going to be massively, so damn aggressive during this time period. And it's going to look like he's bouncing off the walls while being this aggressive, right? And his Mercury is at 5 degrees, which is conjunct his Mercury. Venus is at 5 degrees, which is conjunct his Mercury at 6 degrees. So he's going to be talking very eloquently, but very eloquently about war shit. Hella war shit, but it's still not the full thing because Mercury still isn't back. It's done retrograding, but it hasn't come back, right? Now stay with me. By December 14th, you have the sun on his birthday. His birthday's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a sun on his birthday, right? So he's having a solar return, so he's gonna have even more life force than normal. Which is crazy to think about because he's already he has a lot. And then Mercury is back in Sagittarius. So now, by December 14th, we are going to know what the fuck has been really happening, what he has been planning and logically cultivating the ration behind his reasoning on how he wants to move forward, okay? He's going to be talking hella shit, and this is when I feel like he might give a speech, like one of his talks that he does online. I think he's gonna have one of those moments, and it's probably gonna be really massive moment. I think it's gonna be a massive moment, and I have a feeling it's gonna be about, because the North Node is in Pisces, right, and his Mars and Jupiter is there. I have a feeling it's gonna be about beliefs and religion and delusion, the things that he's been talking about. However, I think is not, now that he has the war room and he has, an army. Basically, he has an army of young men. Like, no cap, he has an army of young men, and because of that, I think he's about to really try to start a war. And I don't think it's gonna be physical though. I think it's gonna be a war of the mind. I think it's gonna be a war of beliefs online to try to shape the collective consciousness of the people. And this is what the Pisces energy is with the fate. And I'm telling you, look out for this man soon. Hold on. The war might also be about digital IDs and AI and things of that nature. And it might be in the UK, potentially. Last thing is that with Mars at 22 degrees, if it's not him trying to start a war, he might have an assassination attempt on his life. Or it might be because of the war that he has an assassination attempt on his life, because 22 degrees is an assassination degree. Same degree with Mr. Cook. So that's it. Let me know what you think. Comments below.